And we are live. Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing tonight? Mark Morales just says run. Run? Why are you attacking me, Mark? Should I run away? Was that a warning? I'm not sure how to take it. Doesn't seem to have much context. Anyway, there's been a bunch of interesting stuff happening here. Because, like, elves, I don't know if they're choosing to relocate here or just being relocated and happening to pop over here. And oh, nice. You're on server 12. Okay. I started a Mordor account over there because I'm still trying to figure out what server I'm going to do the Mordor warband on. And I figure people that are wanting to join me probably want to take part in Season 2 as soon as it starts. So if we were wanting to group together, the best way of doing that is to all find a server that is within the top 20 that is going to be rolling over to Season 2. And we'd have to find one that has a Mordor faction that's got a low enough population. Because, like, I've joined a few, and Mordor was one of the few factions that was full on a bunch of them. I think I joined one and then went to check it out with my alternate account, and me joining Mordor with my one account made it full. So that wasn't going to work. But I did start one on 12, and I was trying to find out if Mordor over there is very heavily populated at all. Though it doesn't matter now, as long as we're all on the same server, we will be able to choose our faction again at the beginning of Season 2. That's one of the things we're going to discuss tonight, is that, you know, there was a lot of confusion at the beginning of the week when they put out the information about Season 2. It was unclear in their wording, and some people thought that they were going to be locked into the faction choice that they made this season. That's not the case. As I had hoped, it was just a misunderstanding. At least I think, because they did end up wording it in their update that faction changes will be enabled for people on roleplay servers. So, I mean, I don't actually know. Maybe they did hit a button and just disable it, thinking, yeah, maybe they don't want to change, and realize their mistake and have now hit the button again. Or maybe it was just a complete misunderstanding. Regardless, everybody is going to be able to change their faction again at the beginning of Season 2. You can choose good and evil again. You can choose your faction again. So as long as you are on the same server as your friends, you can play together in the same faction. You know, as long as you're lucky enough to get in early enough, and the faction doesn't fill up before you and your friend get in. There's always natural things that can get in the way. But the devs have not killed friendships, as everybody was fearing that they had. So, and, you know, like I say, yes, it turned out to be a misunderstanding, but honestly, with the track record of the devs, I don't blame people for getting upset and kind of jumping the gun on that one. Especially when we're 2 weeks out. It's like, no. We need to know that this is either a mistake or getting fixed right away. And luckily it has. So, Mr. Muggsy here. I thought it was funny. He wanted to hit me, I guess. And then after that, he started thinking better of it because I saw that he was moving down this way. So I think I might have some fun with him, because that was not nice. Land in transition. protection, you asshole. Well then, fine. I will just come charging at you. Come here. Yeah. See, making friends with elves. It's just that easy. Oh, I should probably stop inflating my YouTube viewer count. I had been, while I was down having my like pre-stream smoke. I don't know. That's probably like, I don't know. Maybe YouTube doesn't like me saying that word or whatever. But, you know, I was on the YouTube channel myself, just making sure, keeping an eye on the timer. Mark Morales, you going RP? And if so, what faction? My small group from server 20 is going Loth for season 2. Roleplay, Mark Morales. So if you see here, you can choose whether you want to play on a roleplay server or a mixed server. They've split us up now. They've given us the option. So if you don't want to take part in the new mixing of good and evil units and good and evil commanders, you can choose to play on a roleplay server. And as you can see on the roleplay servers, all of that stuff is disabled. But all of the other stuff, new season goals, new commanders, unique equipment, you can use all your commanders' equipment and all that fun jazz, just like normal. No, the new factions are Arnor and Linden. What are you doing, Crown? Jeez. I don't want to... Well, I guess he wouldn't bounce, but screw it. I'll do it this way. Yeah, Arnor and Linden are the two new good factions that were started on the test servers. The other exciting piece of information that we got today, though, is we finally got our first hints at the new commanders that we're going to be seeing in Season 2. There are 4 of them. Guess how many are evil? I mean, I'm happy we at least got 1 for the evil factions. Oh, come on. You're running away into your protection, Muggsy. You scaredy cat, you. Boo. You're no fun. Yeah, he's running everybody back. Yeah, he's not having any of it. I mean, it's a good call. If you've got the protection, you might as well use it. But it's just not as fun. Not nearly as fun. Yeah, the elves have been... But hey, I don't blame them at all. Like I said, I've been on the losing side of servers, and it's no fun. That's why I haven't been just like going nuts over here on them. You know, at the beginning of the week, I had that like day and a half where I was fighting with, I don't know, 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 of them. I don't know how many ended up showing up. But I mean, after that, I just sat here and wanted to rebuild troops, and have been trying to offer some friendly PvP and 1v1s and whatnot to anyone wanting to do testing, basically. Yeah, we got a pretty big crowd showing up now. I mean, it was just Crown and I the other day. Like, it was just me at first, and then Crown showed up. Now all of a sudden, everyone's deciding to get in on it. So who knows? Whoa, crap. Ah, I can't spell. So who do we have over here? We've got Witchy Melly. Witchy Melly. He's fighting it out with Crown right now. With Crown's Arwen. Yishai. Sean. Mr. Legolas is still over here again. Okay. Oh, I don't know if I fought this guy. King Loaf. I saw somebody fighting him earlier, so his comms are probably dead. I missed my mouth. That's quite a full can. Forgot they won't let me say damn in game chat, so. Hey, how's it going, Ark? If you're here yet, hello. If you're not, then hello in the future. From the past, you know. I hope I can provide some entertainment while you're preparing for classes. Building a fort within range now. Why are you building a fort within range? Why? Oh. Gotcha. Oh, I've already got a fort in range. Where am I? This one? Will that do it? Oh, god damn. I don't want to click on the... I can take off the names, can I? Name. What? Those weren't the names I wanted to take off. Alright, that works. Because that... I think that's... What the hell fort would this be? Because that one, I think, ends here. Oh, man. I got too many overlapping forts. Okay, this one would be this circle. It comes around here. Whoa. Okay, so that's that one, I think. That makes sense, I think. Or is it this one? Oh, God. Oh, yeah, that's that one, I think. It is. Okay. So then this is this one. And where's that tile that he... I should probably pin it. Pin. Oh, you bastard. Too many pins. Okay. So this one is in range. Oh, so this one would be in range for me too. So I don't know if we're having one of those nights where chat's just, you know, kind of quiet, which is always fine. I do just always find it a little bit odd, and always end up being curious if like something has happened, if I need to hit a thing and do a thing. Yeah. Oh wait. No. Okay. All right, we're good. It looks like. Excellent connections. No DDoS from King tonight. All right. Cool. All right. Things look good. Hey, Vita. Indeed. So I think Crown wants me to help him hit this guy. Take this if you want. Need to. Where is it? Oh yeah, no. Like I said, I've got one in range. Time to stream. When you take a few bases. Yeah. There we go. We might end up with like an event on Wednesday, maybe. See Crown and I go clear some elves. It's like the good old days. It's a whole new group too. I haven't fought with these guys. What commanders do I have that can solo a 230? So right now I would be pretty confident that Theo, probably Arwen, maybe even Aragorn. And I actually just got Gandalf here to 43. He's finishing up another mock battle. When he's finished that mock battle, I might be confident that he'd be able to. But these two for sure. And then, like I said, I'm pretty sure Aragorn can do it. I think I saw him actually do one the other day. And then I think Gandalf would be able to pull it off as well, with the right troops and everything. I got to get him a helmet. I had one on him, and then I used it to refine something because I hadn't been leveling him, and now I started leveling him, and he doesn't have a damn helmet. I could just take this off of Lego. Probably a good call. I mean, he's not, well, he's 39. Could send him on some mock battles after Gandalf. I wasn't going to level anyone else up because I didn't know when the season was coming and whatnot. And now that I found out we got the 2 weeks, I figured, sure, why not? Oh God, no. We don't need any DDoS tonight, King. Everything's running smooth, all right? Like, we got a good flow going tonight. Jason Fennel, your Dwaylen. Yes, I said that, King. And Gandalf can solo 230, but they have good gear. Awesome. Yeah, Dwaylen, I imagine you've got him set up with the Experienced Warrior and Durin's Blood tree. I don't know what respect level he is. He might be respect 5. Well, respect 5, he's got the Giant Slayer, so that might not be. But yeah, I'd be curious. Dwaylen, Dwaylen the Rock Johnson. That's actually my favorite nickname you've come up with for him. I love that one so much, man. I think it suits him perfectly. He is Dwaylen the Rock Johnson. What are my thoughts on the news announced on Discord? Are you talking, Zwazi, about the clarification about Season 2? Because that's like the main discussion up to the break, for sure, is going to be talking about, what we learned. I've just been waiting for a bit more people to roll in and start asking about it themselves. I did cover it a little bit earlier. Going to be doing it probably throughout the stream. But the gist of it is that it basically was a misunderstanding. And at least that's what I gather from everything. And as long as you are on the same server as your friend, then if you both choose roleplay or both choose mixed, you will still remain on that server come Season 2 and will be able to play together regardless of what faction you are at the moment. Everybody is going to be able to choose good and evil and choose their faction fresh once again. So, the alarm bells have stopped, I think. The big issue that people had with not being able to play with new friends that they made in the game or friends that they weren't able to play with this season because they didn't get into the same faction early enough. That's no longer a fear. We are going to be able to group up together and have a fun Season 2, it looks like. What do I think is a good counter to Faramir and Gandalf? Well, Faramir can be countered by a fair few things. He doesn't bring a lot in the way of heals or mitigation, I don't think. He brings a lot of damage. And he can prioritize ranged units here with flanking. Yeah, I guess he does get armed escort. So that does actually provide a heal. Oh yeah, okay. He gets air here at respect 5. So a respect 5, Faramir can be a bit nastier. You would probably, and sorry, are you? I can never. It's hard to remember everybody. Are you good or evil, Zwazi? I want to say you're evil. Yeah, okay. So snipers would be a pretty good, they'd still get prioritized, but they do have that bonus defense against physical damage, or against melee. Yeah, no, actually, I don't know if that's not against physical damage, it's against melee units. So I don't know if they'd get protection against the commander. Trolls. Does prioritization get through taunt? I can't remember if it does. But you would probably, like, Mouth of Sauron would be a great counter to this guy, because he would just shut down so much of his, like, damage bonuses, his defense bonus. What is it? Anyone, Kamul would be good. Or no, because this doesn't, it's not this one. Sorry. My mind's going now, so. Because he's not the one that gives avoidance. Yeah, you'd be looking for some of the debuffing commanders, like any of the commanders that reduce might, reduce damage, all that kind of stuff. Anything that reduces defense to try and counter this if they've got him at respect 5. If you run ranged units, you're going to want to run snipers. Because if you run arbalests, then this is just going to tear them apart. It's still going to hurt the snipers, but it's hard sometimes to not run ranged units. If you're Isengard, though, you can just run Snagathrax and some trolls. That might do it. You know, run some crushers or something in there. Maybe some halberdiers if he's got horses. Because it depends on the troops that he's using as well. But yeah, you're probably looking at a build using, you know, Rangers of Ithilien, Guide. So there's heal block. That would be another one. If you could get a heal block in there. Just to try and nullify the armed escort a little bit. Those would probably be your best options. I don't know if it was concise enough because it was kind of an on-the-fly thing. And to Gandalf, sorry, because you had also asked about Gandalf. I'm guessing you mean Gandalf the Grey. Stun immunity is a huge counter to Gandalf because he does hurt you with his stuns. Damage bonuses are going to be good because he's reducing damage with this. Kamul or Sauron would be good now because they've got things that just ignore avoidance, and that would get through this avoidance that he grants to his units. He is going to have Convener most likely, so you're going to have to deal with that, which is always tough. If they go White Council, it's going to be more damage reduction. So again, just trying to, at that point, it's kind of a race. You need to see if you can get more damage bonuses than he can damage reductions. And so like Lurtz, that's one of the things he's really good for, is just overpowering people with damage. And so they would need to basically have White Council to max. They'd need like Mithrandir to max. High Alert, you know, Free Peoples, things like that to really nullify. Yeah, I guess this wouldn't do anything against Lurtz, but you get the point. They would almost need to spec specifically into damage mitigation to try and counter something like Alerts. As long as you have the stun immunity. If you don't have stun immunity, then Wizard and Blindside are going to mess you up. They prevent a lot of damage. And then fleeting movements as well. So again, Kamul or Sauron, anyone now that can ignore avoidance, is going to be great to get to push damage through something like this skill. So hopefully that answered those questions. I saw some other ones come in. Where were we here? Christian Rios. Who is the most underrated commander? Like overall or on the good side, on the evil side? You are quite welcome, Zawazi. Kitten Witch. Hashtag Kitten Witch. Yeah. Like that's the thing. I was pretty certain even when I just saw the silhouettes that 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 was an evil commander of some sort. So I am happy that we got one evil commander, but they're giving the good faction 3 more commanders. So that's caused me to want to start a discussion. And that discussion is going to be happening. I'm going to start that discussion after the break. But basically, just to like preface it, to get us all, to whet everyone's appetite for it. I have felt for a long time, since I played the betas, I have felt for a long time and talked to other people about it who agree that there's almost a bias, it seems, that the devs have toward the good factions. And the evil factions suffer because of it. So I've been mulling it over for a while. I've been trying to keep an eye on how things progress in the game for both sides. And seeing this today with the 4 commanders, 3 on the good side, 1 on the evil side, that was the straw that broke my back. And I thought, nope, got to start this discussion on stream tonight. So like I said, I'm still planning right now on just kind of continuing the discussion about Season 2, if anyone has any more questions about it. And then, yeah, after the break, I'm going to dive in on my thoughts and talk to everybody about this apparent bias. I don't know if it takes over chat, then we can just talk about it now, I guess. It was the plan that I had. You know, I try and come up with plans. But what's that saying? Man plans, God laughs, or whatever. This is evil faction racism. Indeed. The orcs have no representation, man. Oh, Mr. Gandalf finished his mock battle. Oh, he's level 44. He is level 44. We're just going to continue pumping up wizard. I like that defense reduction. We may try him out soon. I mean, level 44. I think a level 44. Oh, and I mean, yeah, I think we might just leave him there. Isn't that just the perfect amount of command points? I don't know, man. It's gonna be hard to change my mind. I think he's gonna stay at level 44. Yeah, I agree, Zawazi, that, you know, I feel like the buffs for the evil faction are too few and far between. Like, when they do happen, it's, you know, 1 or 2 units at a time, and they just get these weird, sometimes meaningless buffs. Yeah. All right, let's do it. Yeah, like, what was the one that they gave? The Crushers, I think it was. It was like I don't know, reduced the conscription time, which is cool. But I don't know, it was weird stuff. It didn't even have to do with their stats, if I remember right. It was like conscription time, reduced the time that they needed to heal after a battle or something. It was just really weird. Strange stuff. Ah, Muggsy. He's giving it the good old college try. I'll give him that much. Yeah, like I said, the decrease in cost or whatever, in conscription cost, that's not a terrible thing because there are a few units that I think could use that, trolls included. Because yes, trolls should be a little bit expensive to recruit, but I do think they're a little bit pricey. But I still feel like those are just weird buffs. Like I don't think those are the buffs people were asking for. Were not. They're not the ones people thought would happen. I guess I don't know. They just seem like it caught people by surprise. I think people prefer to see numbers go up rather than timers go down because it's a more noticeable change, I guess. Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of buff they need. Maybe just higher defense or higher damage or something like that. Because I find their stats are a little bit too close to mountain trolls. Like there's not enough of a difference between the two. Evil has some really good troops, Jason. I will admit that. But I'm not gonna say that they're not lacking in certain areas. Their anti-cavalry units are just not great yet. The halberdiers have gotten better, but they're still not super effective. The raiders just suck most times. That was something in the last beta that we talked about, and it seems like it's carried over here. I see a lot of complaints about them. I don't know. It's definitely harder to figure out proper troop usage as an evil player, in my opinion, than it is a good player. You can look at your troops as a good player, and it's kind of self-explanatory. Like, okay, these guys do damage, these guys soak damage, these guys taunt. They're effective in their jobs. So, but I have said that the evil commanders outshine the good commanders a lot of the time. Like you say, they do end up doing more damage in terms of personal damage. You look at the Witch King, you look at Lurtz, Agzok, Sauron, potentially. I have seen high damage numbers from Sauron. Then yeah, there's a lot of them that do high commander damage, but they just don't do anything for their troops, really. Yeah, I'm sure Witch King got some buffs between the last beta and launch, because I don't remember people loving Witch King last beta. And it's not that he wasn't tested. Like, people got him, people tested him. And he just didn't seem to perform the way people thought he would. So yeah, it's nice to see that he's pumping out a shit ton of damage now. And Christian Rios, thank you very much for that subscription, by the way. I did see that come in. And King Dead, thank you for hosting me. I don't know what is going on with the sound for my alerts, but all of a sudden, like the last week, I haven't been getting the sound for my alerts isn't being fed into my headphones. I think someone in chat told me you guys can hear it, so that's cool. And as long as it's not deafening everybody, then I'm happy. But it throws me off because I don't get that audio cue that something has happened, and if I don't catch it out of my peripheral vision, then I can miss things, and I don't like that. Saruman, yes, he's another one that on paper, Saruman really should be able to pump out a ton of focus damage. That Orb of Many Colors ability that does focus, poison, and burn damage He's just got so much focus damage in his skills. That I do find it hard to believe that he's not an extremely powerful commander. Oh, I don't have any sentinels to put on this guy. Alright, you know what? We're going to send you home. Hey, how's it going, Celia? No, don't be watching a stream and driving. That's dangerous. Naughty. But thanks for popping in and saying hi. I appreciate that. But keep yourself alive so that you can catch the next stream. You know, gotta get returning customers and whatnot, like returning viewers, all that stuff. Can't have you dying on the highway. I make light because it's a serious situation. Responsible driving, people. I don't drive myself, but there are reasons. But yes, road safety. There are some people that just don't seem to take it very seriously these days. I don't know. I've seen some crazy stuff on the roads as a pedestrian. So yeah, I think we're going to send King Aragorn home and use his troops to start pumping up Mr. Gandalf. And we're gonna get him in on the action here tonight. I'm gonna send him home. Oh, he's only a minute away because he's got eagles. Speedy Gonzalez. What do you think of Evil Side Cavalry? They good in your opinion? The wargs, no. I didn't like the wargs when I used them at all. Dragoons are good. Dragoons from Rune, they're pretty good. But the wargs, I didn't like them. Now they are too slow. All the cavalry for evil are just too slow in my opinion. But the dragoons have some good abilities and some decent stats. We are probably going to get Bolg or Azok as well, since we are only getting small leaks. Yeah, that would be sweet. I do hope that we get more than just the one. I wouldn't be surprised if we do only end up with the one, though. The damage buff looks good on paper, but it's really nothing in my opinion. Do you mean the damage buff for the Fallen? The T4 for the Angmar, that's the one. Oh, mainly the wargs, yeah. Well, and the thing about it, there's one easy thing that they could do to fix it. And that is add the line prioritizes mounted units. If they were to prioritize mounted units, it would make all the difference in the world. But right now they don't prioritize mounted units, so it doesn't really do anything. We are getting more because Bilbo is coming too. Now, so where are you getting these confirmations from, King? Because I didn't see them confirm anything. I mean, I'm not calling you a liar or anything, but like, if there's somewhere that I can go and read the confirmations, then I'd like to find out. Yeah, like you said, the meta right now definitely seems to be alchemists with anything that increases burn damage. And it works. I mean, if you can keep the alchemists alive, then yeah, they're going to pump out a ton of damage. So, if it works, go with it. I mean, you don't have to spill the beans here on YouTube, King. But you know, moving on. I don't know if there's any. Oh yeah, okay. So we now okay. That's what we were doing. We were waiting. Russian spy. Hey, wait a minute. That would make sense. That's why you're so good at DDoS. I get it now. Hey, well, thank you very much for that follow. I do appreciate that. Spirit Alt. I think that's right. Spirit Alt, yes. Thank you very much for that. And Nightblood 13, welcome to the stream. Rank 5, new Evil Commander skill. Should make Trolls, Large Beast exempt. So, like, are you saying that you think the Imrahil or whatever no, that's not her. It's blah 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 Baruthnil or Baruthiel. You think she should negate the large units from trolls? That would be neat. Like, shrink them down. Mr. Rainbow Pit, how's it going? That would be pretty cool, though, if there was... it could be the same idea as the Black Serpent with Mummakill, where, he's removing... Yeah, no, I agree with that. That'd be pretty cool. Mini trolls, indeed. Thank you very much, Spirit. I did see that. Your main is suspended. What'd you do? You made Twitch mad, eh? Thoughts on Fellbeast? They're not as good as Eagles, because Eagles get that damage bonus that's modified by speed or whatever. They're good for pathing and like getting commanders to places really quick. They're good for bouncing people if you need to bounce someone in PvP. Certain commanders that look at that war chariots now. Certain commanders that boost poison damage can make them work, but the big issue with using any of the aerial units is they just take so much extra damage from ranged, and you're pretty much always going to face ranged units. So it's really tough. If you can run them into, if you know that there's an all melee comp, and you're able to run Fell Beasts into an all melee comp with bonuses to their poison damage, then they can actually do a really decent amount of damage. But as soon as they come up against ranged units, they get shredded. It sucks. But it's the same with Eagles. Eagles get shredded pretty hard by range too. I was looking for a Fellbeast thing to try and Oh my god, there's a search function now. Hey, look at that. Fell beasts. So yeah, like the poison damage here isn't terrible. 30% poison damage continuous each round for 2 rounds. But this is what I mean here. They receive less damage from melee units, but they receive 30% extra damage from ranged units. And their normal attacks can target any enemy, so they don't prioritize anything. They're not as fast as eagles, but they're all right. Oh, there you go. Black Mist. Max rank shrouds units, making troop size difficult to see. I like it. I really like it. I'd say you take that and throw it on the suggestions page on the Discord. That's a damn good idea, that is. Because, like, once the good factions figure out that you're using trolls, it's just too easy to counter them. You know, it becomes so hard to justify running them. But to be honest, you just have to. Even if they're running troll counters, the way to beat it is just run more trolls. The longer they have to spend killing your trolls is the more time your other units get to mess them up. It's a weird logic, but that's honestly what I found worked on the commanders that work really well with trolls. Rather than sacrifice it, just run more and pound them into the ground. Remind you later and you'll talk to me about what? Wink. I currently have one of every blue weapon, armor, and helmet effect. Should I need more than that until I get more purples and golds? Oh, you've collected all the effects. I mean, probably not. If you do have gear that you really like right now that like your commanders are using, you can always collect more just to use as like refinement and strengthening material for blues, just to get them to rank 3. But yeah, it's not like you need to be collecting blue gear. Well, she's gonna have black Numenorian for sure. Yeah. Heal block. I have a feeling she's gonna be like the anti-Galadriel type thing, like the counterpart to Galadriel. In terms of skills and usage, she's gonna have, I think, a lot of heal blocks, ton of focus damage, probably some debuffs, maybe some madness. Oh, we didn't get Mr. Gandalf trooped up, did we? That's what we were over here doing earlier. All right. Take your eagles off. Did we take the troops off of this guy? No. All right. I said go home. Are you too good for your home? Go to your home. May I see your current gear list? Indeed. So this is like all the stuff I've got equipped. And then all the stuff I've just kind of been building up because I've been too lazy to actually do anything with all of it. Yeah, it just kind of goes for a little bit. I could just dismantle a bunch of it into stuff and But again, I've just been too lazy to... Because Gandalf the Grey is better, in my opinion. This is a great skill at Respect 1. This is a pretty big heal. He's got 2 stuns. And for Mr. The White, we get the White. After the commander deals damage, there's a 50% chance of dealing an additional focus damage. He does get Magical Barrier, though, and that's the main reason that I've been leveling him up. He still gets Blindside, so he's got the 1 stun, and he's got Wizard down here as well. So, he's good at... He's all right at Respect 0 or Respect 1. But especially comparing a Respect 5 Gandalf the Grey to a Respect 1 Gandalf the White. Easy choice. Gandalf the Grey is better. He's like, this heal is crazy, considering he's got, where is it here? Focus damage here that's going to trigger the heal. He's got 2 instances of focus damage here that's going to trigger the heal. And then he's got his normal attack that's going to trigger the heal. The damage reduction and avoidance provided by this, as well as giving everyone initiative and a chance to attack twice every round, is pretty good. And then again, he even gets White Council if I want to put the points into it. I would recycle blue and green equipment and get a legendary accessory. Actually, you might be onto something there, because I think... Actually, I could get him another pipe. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. I will do that. Dismantle. Boom, 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 boom. Huzzah. All right. So we've got 16. We can buy both. Do we want a Trapper's Hood, though? I think we want a Trapper's Hood over a pipe. I don't... Oh. Let's see here. Yeah, because if I get him the Trapper's Hood... That'll get him some extra focus, speed, and whatnot. I'd need more than 1 smoking pipe to do anything meaningful with this. So, the Trapper's Hood and the Hauberk. I think those are the options. We'll make sure we get this first. Huzzah! Aw. I don't like that one. Whatever. Hey, 290. Excellent. I could strengthen up his chest piece here. Although this gives him more focus, doesn't it? More speed, more defense for elves. Might be worth putting this on him. I could strengthen... Oh no, I'd want to use it as refinement material if I was going to do that. Alright, well, let's see. What do we have? We got a bunch of stuff I can sacrifice to make this a little better. Let's go with a couple of those. Oh, now we get into the expensive stuff. 3, 4. Oh, nope. All right, I guess I can't do it again. Refinement time it is. You mean like these perks here? I'm just using this one because I didn't really care too much. Like which one he had, to be honest. I've used a lot of them enough that I remember that Gallant just had to do with might. The one I was getting rid of there, Upright. I was actually getting curious because I couldn't remember off the top of my head what Upright was. But you can also do this. You can come into your items list, come over to this little icon, and check out all of the... so, to be honest, I probably would have preferred... Yeah, okay, Guard is the one I would have preferred to keep. Although it only affects one allied unit. Whereas Melee Vigor that I'm using, all of my melee units get a reduction in damage. At max, that would be 6%. Guard would still probably be the better one on a Gandalf, though. 30% extra defense for 1 round is pretty nice. But it all depends on what kind of commander you're running, what kind of troops you're running. Oh, geez. You know, if you're using like a focus-based commander, like Arwen here, then, you know, something like Smite, where after the commander attacks, you deal additional focus damage, resistance, reducing burn, poison, and focus damage. This one, like I said, she doesn't do poison damage, so it wasn't really an ideal choice, but it gave her focus, so... And then, you know, something like Sustain, she's a healer anyway, so there's more healing. But for me, it's just been a matter of I've used a lot of the stuff already, and so I know which things I'm looking for most of the time. It's just a case of reading over those lists and figuring out which skills synergize with your commanders. Hey, there's some dragons about. Kill some bosses. Where's this guy going? I want to find out where he's marching, Mr. Saffron. Alright, he's going way up there. That's cool. But I did just look at the time. So we're going to queue up. Queue up. I'm moving away from the mic as I spoke. Got all quiet. Going to queue up that BRB screen. You can learn about the final type of spies. Dead spies, and what those are. And the fact of the day today, I'm just gonna say this right now because I haven't been addressing like the fact of the day or the quote of the day type thing at all really. But this fact of the day, I hope it impresses people because it actually made me go, what? When I saw this one. And I had to look it up myself to find out a little bit more. So I hope you enjoy it. We will be right back, and we'll be talking about, like I said, what I perceive as an apparent bias that the devs have for the good factions. So if you have any thoughts, questions, comments, or opinions on that, feel free to get them like queued up in your head, and we'll be chatting about it when we come back. Everything's all queued up. Awesome. And transition. edition. We are back. Hello, hello, hello. Oh. The Real Tabby 44. How's it going? How would I optimally build Gandalf the White at R5? Now let's take a look. At R5, because at R3 he's going to get White Council. High Alert and Champion of Light. White Rider here. Yeah, so at R5, I would definitely be maxing out White Rider. You're going to increase the damage received. Stacks up to 4 times. Gives your army an extra 20 speed, which is amazing. He's going to increase the damage dealt by your mounted units with horsemanship. So you can run him with all mounts. And then reinforcement. That's going to give you a really nice heal from round 7 onwards. I would probably still take the white for the extra focus damage and magical barrier, as well as blindside. I'd still put at least 1 point into wizard to activate this stun. But then I'm thinking I would probably put the rest of the points into White Council and maybe Champion of Light. Split any, like I said, like max White Rider. I'd max horsemanship and reinforcement. This whole tree would get maxed. I'd max the white and magical barrier. Put at least 1 point into this and 1 point into this, and then the rest would probably go into these two. That is likely how I would ideally build an R5 Gandalf the White myself. Mr. Cody, how's it going? Welcome back. Starting off the discussion for us. Hypothetical situation. Respect 5, level 50, good commander. Versus the same for evil. 9 times out of 10, the good army will have far less casualties. Assuming both commanders are tier 1 and there are no gimmicks like Mumma Killer Bearman. Yeah. I definitely agree with you. I do agree with you there. There's very few... there are very few times that the good or the evil army is going to come out on top. Even if the commander wins. Like, even... if they do win, they're probably still going to lose less, or still probably going to lose more units than a good commander doing the equivalent damage. Like, I'm thinking someone like Lurtz. You know, the closest thing that we really have on the good side, I think, is a super pumped out Galadriel, maybe doing focus damage, or like a really pimped out Legolas, maybe Dwaylen. But they still wouldn't lose as many troops in the same kind of situation. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Cody. Like I said, that one factor. There's such a defensive difference between the two, and it's hard to completely say that it doesn't make sense. You know, the evil troops don't take the same kind of care in crafting their armor and weapons as the forces of good do. So if you're looking at it from that kind of perspective, then maybe the equipment that they're using just isn't as good, and that's what the justification is. But it's too extreme right now in a lot of cases. What kind of troops would I usually use with... I still haven't put troops on him. So let's find out. I don't think he's given anything... Is he given anyone specific bonuses? I think he might be given elves. Men and evil men. The whole army. The whole army. Awesome. So I can use whatever I want. All right. Let us see. Well, I'm going to want some Dunedains. These elves have been running a lot of horses, so I might go with some Guard of the Tower. And I couldn't really do any ranged with that because 1,000 vote. No, it's going to get me close. All right. We're close. What do we need? Oh, we haven't taken the troops off of this guy yet. That'll help. Get a few more Dunedains. Boop. Can we... There we go. So that's what I'm going to be running on him right now because I know I'm fighting elves, and so they're probably going to have ranged units. Those are probably going to be Swan Knights, or not Swan Knights, Bow Knights and Bow Knights and March Wardens. So between the almost 5,000 troops on the front line, some of them taking out mounted units, the rest of them going after the ranged units, they should be able to tear some people up. And then the Bow Knights in the back are going to just have a field day. So, let us... Yeah, you still got your protection. Let us bring Gandalf over to the complaints desk. I'm gonna get him working again. Fucking slacker. Jason Fennel, Ugthak, Agzok, Grima Khaldun Gorbag can go win against any tier 1 good if built right and you use the right units. And, you know, that's not really the point that was being made, Jason, at least from what I gathered. Regardless of whether or not the commanders can win, they take more casualties than their good faction counterpart would in the same situation. Like I said, that's why I was comparing like Lurtz to, you know, like Galadriel or Legolas, the commanders from the good side that do a lot of damage. You know, if they were to go into fights with similar kinds of troops against the similar kinds of troops, even if both commanders won, I do think that the evil commander is going to lose more units than the good commander will. Because the good faction, like their troops just have higher defense generally overall. But there's a lot more damage mitigation, defense buffs, and things like that, I find, on the good side, as opposed to Are we good again? Okay. I think we're back. Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell happened. Just all of a sudden the stream decided it wanted to disconnect. So that means I'm going to have to go and... No, okay. Twitch is... Yeah, I'm going to have to restart the Twitch stream. God damn it. Why doesn't it reconnect? It doesn't do the auto reconnect thing for Twitch. All right. We're just going to have... there was a bit of a hiccup in the stream. Okay, actually. Because if I do that, then I'm going to lose all these questions. There's still people on Twitch. Did it reconnect? Doesn't look like it. God dang it. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to restart the stream to get Twitch back in on it. So I just want to quickly get to these last few questions before we do that. What do I rate your 50 Gandalf army with 1250 March Wardens, 3000 Guard of the Tower, 1000 Cataphract? You're fighting Rohan. Well, let's take a peek. Because I've been getting roughed up by the elves here lately with some interesting compositions. So I'll see if I can find something that might highlight a good... the Ram Riders. They've been making really good use of the Ram Riders. I will say that. But yeah, Cataphracts. I mean, obviously on Theo. The calves are being used for the extra damage. I think they started to realize that the Bonites were just being taken out too quickly by the Dunedain and Guard of the Tower combo. The Guard of the Towers, though, we stopped seeing them, it looks like, because a lot of them started running their own mounted comps. And that's probably because the Cataphracts do have, I believe, a higher defense and higher damage than the Guards. But like I said, we're seeing a lot of the Rams being used now. I think that's to try and counter the Guard of the Towers that I'm running. Yeah, because they're running them even against the non-Bearmen commanders. Yeah, as you can see, like they still, against my Theo, they're still not winning 1v1 a lot of the time, but like they have been improving. The Cataphracts do soak a lot of damage for the other units. And like, at least in this composition, you can see 50,000 damage coming out from the calves. So the only thing that I'd say, if you're not using Cavaliers, you might be able to throw them in. The Rams, as I said, they seem to be another option that have been helping these elves at least improve their odds against us. Yeah, okay. I gotta go. Okay, because I was getting too long-winded there. I forgot. Totally agree. Amazing commanders. When I face a main, I totally agree. Agzok, Khaldun, Lurtz are amazing commanders, but when I face a main Eowyn, I'm going to lose even if I bring all the counters. I'm not going to get smashed, but I can't zero an Eowyn. Now, are you talking about yeah, because you said earlier, like, all at Respect 5. Grim is a brick wall. He is good for suicide runs. Grim is going to get smashed versus an Eowyn. I remember actually having some success myself against Eowyn's with Grima. Wait, are we? Oh, we're live again. Okay, so it just takes Twitch a while. It just takes Twitch a while to, sorry, Twitch. Sorry, the ad. I was going to give you a heads up about that. It gave me the warning that it was coming up. And I was getting confused because I thought I wasn't online. But welcome back, Twitch. I'm glad it reconnected finally. That's weird. So it does just take a while. But eventually it comes back. Cool beans. So I don't need to restart the stream. Evil does not have any brick walls except for Karun. Good. Get brick walls like Gandalf the Grey. I'm trying to think myself here. I don't know. Gorbag can be built to be kind of brick wallish. Sauron with the madness. I've seen a lot of Witch Kings that aren't taking huge losses right now just because they're winning so early. I saw one on the Discord the other day, 400 and some odd thousand commander damage. That was just like, okay, yeah, like, again, when I talked about the Witch King on my tier list, I was going off information from the beta. I still haven't talked to a lot of people that have tested them personally. I had seen that one combination with like alchemists, and yeah, it was good. But I still didn't know just how much better he is now. And so yeah, I'd probably end up placing it. I mean, I can't argue with that kind of damage. So S tier for sure. Do I think Eowyn... Cody, you're excited to watch me play Evil. Want to see my Grima in action. I actually do too now, because I've been hearing a lot of stuff that he's just not as good. I've been suggesting that build that I used to run, that I had success with. I've talked to other people about it, and they've actually been telling me it just doesn't work anymore, really. So I don't know if that's a gear difference, a troop difference. I don't know what it is, or if Grima just sucks now. But yeah, apparently he's not as good as he used to be. So I'm just happy to hear my Agzok is going to be rocking it as always. Do I think Eowyn needs a nerf? She is good and is really good with Rohan. A decent armored Eowyn took 4 hits with my faction hitting them, and she is only T1. No, I don't think she needs a nerf. She only gets that good at Respect 5, which, yeah, it's not terribly hard to get her there. But without the heal, she doesn't pull the draws out, and she doesn't have the sustain that she does when she gets the heal. And the thing with her being, really good with Rohan, that makes sense. The idea that Theoden, Eowyn, and Eomer are all really strong with the Rohan mounted units, it just kind of makes sense. That's their hometown, their home turf. I don't think it's that they need nerfs. I think it's that the evil units and the evil side needs to be adjusted to come up to their level rather than bring them down. I think the evil side needs to come up, because it is possible to beat them, and even on the good side, it's possible to beat them even more so. Very hard if they have the right skills and the right gear and everything like that. It's super hard for sure, but the same can be said for other commanders with other units in other factions. There's Gimli with, he's not tier 1, I know, but Gimli with Iron Warriors and then Elven units. That's pretty insane. Haldir with March Wardens. That's just nuts. So there's that argument can be made for multiple commanders. I just think the fact that so many Rohan players are using those commanders right now is just highlighting how good they are. To be honest, I do not have a lot of experience with the T3 units. We mostly only have access to T1 and T2. What do you mean? Yeah, I don't know. Like, what do you mean you only have access to T1 and T2, Cody? Okay, we got Gandalf over here. Oh, okay. Only a few players have unlocked them at this point. He's mine. Hopefully this guy didn't hit him already. Oh, I think he did actually. Crap. So, never mind. Let's see if we can find an elf. That's actually a good point. If factions like Isengard and Mordor had unique commanders that really buffed their own units, that would probably... Yeah, that's the kind of thing that, you know, that I think I would prefer to see as a solution to it, rather than, like I said, nerfing what we currently have. Just give the evil faction what they're missing. And like you say, that's a really good point. If they created, or if they could find certain commanders to use, and make them equivalent in that way. You know, as the idea got thrown out earlier for the new evil commander to have that R5 that would negate Troll's large unit ability. Something like that would make a world of difference. If all of a sudden your Trolls weren't getting countered by Bow Knights and Master Throwers all the time, that alone would make a big difference in battle. If there was, you know, and they tried a little bit with like Maltok and Sharku, giving them that warg tree. The problem is, it's only one tree, where when Eowyn and all them have like 3 that all affect like mounted units specifically. That's the thing, you don't run anything but mounted units on any of those commanders. There's just no point. The evil commanders, there's not really anything like that where you really make the decision that if I run anything but mounted units on this guy, I'm missing out on massive bonuses. And like you said, that's the kind of thing that I think they need to put in. I just want to apologize to Twitch once again as well, because the ad there caught everybody, would have caught them off guard just after the stream came back, and just before it came live again, it gave me the 5-minute heads up that it was going to be running. So I apologize for that, but I've tried to set the ads up so that they're not super intrusive. If the ads are like super terrible, let me know. I'll try and do something more about it. There is ad-free viewing for Twitch subscribers. That was an option I turned on. But yeah, I tried to set up the ad thing so that it wasn't quite so bad. I've heard stories of like people sitting down and getting 5 ads in a row. It's like, holy crap. But yeah, you know, I've just felt for a long time that there are certain things that you can point to and say, because I guess I haven't gotten into the discussion officially myself yet, but like the reason that I wanted to start the discussion is because I've just noticed for a long time that it seems like there's a clear imbalance between good and evil. And at a certain point, I started to ask myself, is it intentional? Like, or even if it's a subconscious thing that the devs don't realize that they're doing, is it accidentally intentional type thing where they do just have a preference for the good side, and because of that they put more what? No. Why are they going to try and roll another ad in 5 minutes? Well, that's not nice. Did it hear me talking about ads and it was like, "Oh, let's run an ad then." Stop listening to me, Twitch. Like, not Twitch viewers. You guys can keep listening. Twitch itself. I feel like it was listening to the conversation, and I don't like that. But yeah, I feel like there are certain things you can point to and really start to kind of put evidence together for a bias. The fact that even when it was still 4 good factions versus 4 evil factions, when people finally did get the chance to try out the evil factions, immediately they were saying that they felt there were things that were weaker. There was an imbalance in unit power. Even when we did get access to the evil factions for the first time, it was 4v2. They only opened the access up to 2 of the evil factions. So there was 2 evil factions, Isengard and Mordor, played by players, and then Rune and Angmar were still AI against 4 good factions, all populated by actual players. This isn't a terrible thing. It's not as bad as we thought it was going into it, because originally we didn't know, as Mordor type thing, if Rune was going to attack us if we started moving up through their territory. We ended up finding out afterwards that they don't. They do treat you as an ally if you're evil. But the fact that they're AI, you're reliant on a random chance that they're going to end up doing anything that actually helps. And the weird thing was, up until that point, whenever the AI have been involved, the big laughing joke kind of thing is, like, crying joke, is that they are relentless. When they do choose to attack, they just go and go and go, and it's just And so we were always hoping that maybe Rune would come in and help Mordor and in some way create a distraction or help push. And then, no, neither Angmar nor Rune ever did anything of substance on those servers. And so it was essentially 4v2. And immediately I was just like, what? How is, like, that's just a clear imbalance. I'm sorry, you can't tell me that that's not an imbalance. And then when they talked about launch and these special servers and they're adding 2 more factions, I honestly thought that we were getting 1 good and 1 evil faction, because I didn't think there was any way that they would create another clear imbalance. But no, we got 2 good factions and 0 evil factions. So now it's going to be 6 versus 4. Huh. We're getting 4 new commanders that we've been shown. 3 of them are good, 1 of them is evil. Now, as King said, we may be getting more commanders, and there may be more evil ones coming. But we're still probably going to get more good commanders than we do evil commanders, and we currently already have more good commanders than evil commanders. So when we talk about balance, I talk about unit balance and commander balance, but honestly, I want to see the game itself get balanced first. Like, the actual core mechanics of the game. I want an equal number of factions on both sides. I think it doesn't necessarily need to be an equal number of commanders on both sides, but right now, I think there's a disparity of, like, at least 3 or 4 commanders. It's like 27 for the evil, or for the good side, and I think 23 or 24 for the evil side. And so right there, there's just a few extra options that the good faction has to choose from. Sure, a few of them are useless, like Denethor and Merry and Pippin and Frodo and Sam. So, I mean, maybe there's effectively 24 good commanders. But evil's got Grishnak. So, I mean, they don't get away with all usable commanders either. Yeah, exactly, Cody. It's super weird that it's not 5v5. If they're going to have 10 factions, like, it removes, I'll use multiple words. It removes incentive for people to choose evil. Because they look at the choices and it's like, oh, well, why am I going to put myself at a disadvantage? The only people that are going to do that are like veterans that want the challenge. And at that point, you're probably going to end up seeing a huge group of people like this Rohan group end up going Isengard or Mordor or whatever, and they're just going to overrun the server. And sure, at that point, the imbalance in numbers doesn't matter, but the same would have been true if they had all gone elves. And so, like, something like that isn't a great gauge. But like I said, it just removes incentive for especially new players to actually want to try evil. They should add something where for every 50 command points destroyed on enemy players, you get 1 respect toward enemy or toward commander recruitment. That would be cool. Or like a gift, you know, maybe like a random, because I don't know if it would be difficult to work out something, you know, to decide where that respect point goes. Or if it would be, because if you've already unlocked the commander and are using them, then you can't get the respect points to unlock them. But like I said, maybe for every 50 command points destroyed on an enemy player, you get, you know, a random gift. And there's a chance that it can be a T3, same like the Matham chest, like a 0.1% chance at a tier 3 gift. Something like that. Yeah, I think any little thing like that would be great too. That just helps out the free-to-play players a little bit more. Because it is such a slog to unlock certain commanders, especially tier 3s. You are forming a super faction next season, Cody. On elves, because you've decided that they are objectively the most powerful faction? I mean, it's not really objective, though. It's a subjective thing. They're one of the strongest, that's for sure. I mean, March Wardens, in terms of damage output, March Wardens and Marshals are the top 2 tier 4s. But you know, Swan Knights and Iron Warriors are extremely good in their own right. And I don't totally agree with you that elves have the best commanders, actually. They've got some good ones. Like Arwen is really good, but she's half human. Legolas can put out a ton of damage, but you can't discount Gandalf at all. You know, King of the Dead, he can actually be a nutty commander if built right at the right respect level and things like that. So commanders, I think it's a much more subjective thing to try and say which faction has the best commanders, especially since none of them are specific. You know, even dwarves have some really good commanders. I was fighting a Dane there a couple of weeks ago that was kicking my butt. But in terms of troops, I will agree that like March Wardens are right up there in terms of the top damage dealing tier 4. They're a pain in the ass to deal with for sure. And I don't disagree with your decision to choose elves at all. That's all right. You can be, though. I mean, I don't mind people, because hey, I can be a little over the top myself sometimes. And you know what? If it helps vent frustration, then I'm all for it, man. I know that you're a reasonable guy, and sometimes you make generalizations, because I do too. Generalizations are used sometimes, and you know, it's just a pain in the ass to try and preface everything and qualify everything and be like, well, technically, and in this and that and that. It's easier to just say, because that's how you feel. Like, and I don't want to invalidate how you feel about the Elven troops and commanders. But like I said, I do have an issue with the word objectively being used, because it's like, no, there's room for argument. I don't know. You don't know if I have mentioned the recent buffs to evil ranged units yet. I have not had enough battles to test the changes yet. You're talking about the Arbalest buff that put them to 90% for their double attack. I've been hearing a lot of good things about it, actually. Who is it on the? There's somebody on the Discord that I've been talking to about it, and I can't remember now. Yeah, it'll come to me at some point, probably at like 3 in the morning when I'm trying to go to sleep. But I have been hearing good things about the Arbalest. Oh yeah, that's right. The snipers got extra damage. I've been curious to find out if because I haven't actually heard enough about the snipers buff, but I've heard a lot about the Arbalest buff and people are liking it. But I haven't heard enough about the sniper buff to find out if it's improved their performance any. I didn't have a problem. Like, I don't know. Again, this is my beta experience. I didn't have a problem using snipers in the beta, but no, Jason, they haven't released. We're talking about season 2 the whole night. Like, that's the thing. Like I said, I try to plan these things out into like segments type thing. It kind of makes it easier for my brain. But it's not a hard and fast thing where it's like, oh, we're at the discussion about bias now, so we're not talking about season 2 anymore. Like, I said my piece on what I felt about the bias and where the evidence was and things like that. And now it's just kind of open discussion. Anyone that wants to discuss that, you're free to. If you have questions about season 2, get them out there. And as far as I know, they have not sent out the warning or activated the little thingamajig for any servers above 20 yet. Yeah, I don't know if I can't remember, because I don't want to say that I've heard when higher number servers are going to see the warning and the icon pop up, because I can't say with confidence that I have. And that really bugs me. I wish, because there are so many other servers that are in the same position and bored and shit. That it's kind of a, I don't know, it feels weird that it's like, hey, look at all of us going to season 2, and then there's so many other people just like, well, so when do we get to join? But I don't imagine it'll be very long, maybe a week, 2 weeks at the most, I'm hoping. So maybe by the beginning of December, the other servers will get their warning. I wonder if they just want to get at least the first group of people off and running, and then, because it does make sense to me that they need to do it in small batches, but 20 servers seems like way too small of a batch. Most of all the balance changes have been buffing the evil units, so the devs made them weaker in the beginning. Exactly, oof. That's, you know, you can clearly see that in their pattern of buffs, like you said, that obviously the evil units had big issues if every single buff that's come out has been to the evil units and evil commanders. Like that thing where Kamul now and Sauron, I think, just ignore avoidance. It's just like, what? That's like really powerful. And Kamul getting it at respect 1 or respect 0, sorry. Like that's not anything to sneeze at. So then more people are picking RP than they were thinking, making them stop the merge of other servers. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so, Jason. I'm pretty sure they had always planned on only transitioning the first 20 servers or so to season 2. I gotta find something new for or like I gotta sit in a different position, because when I sit that way, I'm like not facing the mic and it doesn't sound as. Over half of server 20 is going RP. That makes me feel good. I'm like, even though I don't know if I've officially said it on stream, I have talked about it a few times in like chats and stuff. But my plan is to, as I've said, I am going to start the Mordor Warband on an RP server. But this account, with all of these commanders, I do plan on bringing this onto a mixed server. Not because I'm excited to play on a mixed server. I really don't want to. I do think it's a bad idea. I think there are nutty combinations that the devs haven't even thought about. And I want to highlight some of them if I can. So, yeah, I mean, like Theo with some of the mounted units. You know, just there's so many combinations here. Arwen with trolls, Arwen with mama kills. Just like there's a lot of nutty things that I really don't think the devs have actually thought through. And so if I can highlight some of the absurdity, I'll be happy to. It'll be used for like testing stuff out, weird combinations that people think of. I think it'll be fun to be able to include that stuff. And I'm sure it'll provide some entertainment if we can get some nutty combinations rolling and have some shenanigans. The funny thing about it too is this account is also going to be Mordor, because I just love Mordor that much. But it'll also make it that much easier to make sure I can get Mama Kill for Theo and Eowyn. Mama Haldir. Oh, Mama Haldir indeed. Arguing for evil though, Agzok is amazing. I've had to take points out of Laceration because of it glitching. But Heartseeker is a great ability. I get close to 300k now. Excellent. Yeah, that's weird that Laceration isn't working. I think that's been the big issue with some people's Agzoks. Hopefully that gets fixed. Is it being sent to the bug channel? Like, do they even know that it's an issue? Cold Prince said it would be 1 to 3 days and more server would get the warning for the end of the season. Excellent. I hope that's true. I do hope that's true. I would play Evil with you, but I already play Evil on 2 servers. That is all right, Jason. I don't expect everybody to join with me, but I know there are some that want to. And any that do are welcome. So, and got really good drops. Nice. All right, so I think we have found our target. Let's go. Yeah, I mentioned it in Bug Channel. Like I say, the Heartseeker might just be better. It targets ranged units and does a ton of damage on its own. What respect tree is it on? Is it available in 1 to 3? Like, are you... Because the only reason... I thought it was on the respect 5 tree, which is why I don't really mention it. But... because I didn't know if there was enough points to build into it. But hey, if it works, go for it. That's funny. He doesn't want any part of it. Alright, well, he's made me... I gotta spend some money. Because I need some gems. Because I need a stamina pack. I guess I could just do this and get some medals. Oh, I gotta do the thing. Blur that out. Pay no attention to the numbers that were on screen, and I'm gonna blur that out because that's bad to do on stream. Please don't be dishonest and screw me over. Now I'm giving people ideas, so I'm just gonna shut up. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Jason. You are the one that reminded me about that, aren't you? See, like, at least I realized it myself this time, and I'm going to go in and do it immediately because god damn it. It doesn't matter how quick you do it. Those, you know, that pause button exists. Just, yeah, not mindful enough about that at all. At all. That's what I was doing. I was doing the thing with the thing because now he doesn't have enough stamina to do a whole lot. So now he can actually do some stuff. All right there, Dirty Cakes. Oh, really? 4 minutes to get him over there. He's going to try and take this, isn't he? You dirty bugger, you. Two minutes and 40. He's still going to get to attack it. Oh, you dirty bugger, you. All right. So, how are we going to... All right, well, we're going to try getting him up here anyway. Because he's on a draw there. We will send somebody over here. Or back here, maybe. Because you need to take another tile to get there. Yeah, you know what? We'll just see if we can bait it. With a nice quick march. We'll get... Who do we want coming at this one? Yeah, actually, we'll start sending Mr. G-Delf over. Where are we going to send it? All right, he's working on that tile, so we'll send here. Oh, these are the fights I like. These are the fights I like, having to try and work stuff out. What if in Season 2 they did server population checks weekly for player population in each faction? Then for the weaker ones, they get a faction quest to claim a ring of power that gives them general buffs to help, since there's more than the one ring. Something like that. Yeah, I think that would be cool. That falls in line with the, like, any kind of catch-up mechanic that people were wanting, where, you know, maybe the leading faction gets a debuff or the trailing factions get buffs. Something like that I do think would be a handy thing for sure. And I like your idea of like a quest that they could do to you know, claim one of the other rings. It is respect 5, but my Agzoc is respect 11, so okay. Excellent. If you don't mind, Cody, if you could pop a screenshot of that build into the Discord, either like a personal message to me or just in the general chat or something. I'd love to take a look at it. Because, yeah, like you said, the prioritization on ranged units with it, that alone is pretty big. Oh, buddy, how many troops did you use to take this 230? Gandalf probably isn't even going to take it. No, he did take it. Awesome. All right, so then we'll take some more just to... oh, I don't know. We can't take a level 3 with him. He can probably... Let's try taking a 2. See if we can beat this guy to it. Come on, can you take it, Gandalf? Can you take it? Oh, what a champ. He's got 1 unit of eagles. That's awesome. Oh, look who's here, buddy. Uh-oh, Mr. Dirty Cakes. I think you're in trouble, bud. He done got my attention. All right. So, that's in transition, is it? That's in transition too. All right, well then, this one is not in transition. Awesome. Thank you very much, Cody. I appreciate that. Like I said, I'd be just curious to take a look it over. Because I may adjust my Exoc build for the next season upon hearing this. Like you said, it may just be better than Laceration. I mean, the reason I liked Laceration was because I really liked anything with continuous damage. I felt like that had a lot of value. But you can't really argue with the damage that you're talking about from Heartseeker, especially if it's going into ranged units specifically. I haven't heard anything about it either, Jason, but I'm excited. I am excited to find out what they've got in store for some evil, or for some new camps. Oh, is my Gandalf? Yeah, my Gandalf's probably going to beat him. 1.5 minutes. And hey, buddy, guess what? Schmack. My turn. I imagine I'm hoping anyway, we're going to get some kind of teaser about the camps, the same way we did the commanders. One of the units I'm guessing is coming in is Hurons. If you remember from the Red Book, there are certain missions where you get Hurons, the tankier form of Ents. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see them come in. I'm wondering if something like Spiders is going to show up. All right, are you hanging out in there, buddy? Dirty Cakes? I'm going to throw my brand new G-Delf at you. Mr. G-Dog. I don't even know what Dirty Cakes has been using. No, it wasn't up here. So I don't know what Gandalf is running into, to be honest. We'll see. Awesome. All right. That was fun. Aw, he's waiting 20 minutes now. That's not so fun. Security. You can go home now. You're not needed anymore. Careless Ghost, how's it going? I'm doing pretty well. My faction is doing even better. The map is pretty green. The elves have been putting up a pretty decent fight trying to retake some land. Isengard took the Shire. The dwarves are back on the map. Gondor's actually back on the map. I did not notice that. They retook Minas Tirith. Good for them. Mordor's still kicking over here in Barad-dûr. But yeah, Rohan has pretty much run away with this one. Sorry, I have to make a correction. Heartseeker targets the enemy with the lowest HP. That's right. But that is almost always the ranged unit, so that's why I said that. Makes sense, Cody. I would probably end up making the same mistake. And so yeah, I get where you're coming from there though. But thank you for clearing that up. But still, the lowest HP unit being targeted is generally pretty good. Like I said, it's going to be ranged units a lot of the time. Yeah, you go ahead and you guard. That's cool. I didn't actually check that report in detail because I was curious to find out what kind of damage people did. So Gandalf himself did 34,000. His healing, though, at 68,000 points in healing. I like that. Almost 200,000 soldier damage. I will take that all day. 100,000 from the Dunedains. Yeah, so it looked like this composition was a pretty good call. You know, these guys just had fun going after the Rams while the Dunedains messed up the March Wardens. Mr. Dirty Cakes isn't giving up yet, though. Good on him. He's trying to get some commanders over to the tree. No linked land, cannot march. Well, fine then. Where's the closest land that I can link? I would have to march up through here again, like I did last time. That'd be, I'd have to go here, take this. 3, 4, 5. No, 4. All right. Okay. Who do we want to use? So we got Arwen up there. She's going to take that. Yeah, we'll let Gandalf and Aragorn finish off this fort, and then we'll worry about going down. What is this guy doing? I'm not even close to in range. Let's see if I can... Oh, I don't have the ability points. I was going to see if I could at least scare him off. I'd have to wait 20 minutes. He's going to take it in that time. Dang. Well, that's mean. Somebody's taking Val's OBs. Anyone else going crazy over purple gear having buffs for tier 2 units and not tier 3? Jason, I have actually heard that those buffs apply to all units in that line, which makes them a lot better. So if you have something that boosts spearmen, apparently it does boost guard of the tower, or something that boosts light cavalry will still boost the cavaliers. Again, that's not from personal experience, but yeah, it's from... Oh, that buff thing for the gear? And it is unit specific? Because that's the way I originally thought it worked. Yeah, okay. So then yes, that does suck. Although the only thing I can think is they were maybe trying to give us a way to justify continuing to use tier 2 units. But if that's the case, they would have had to give us larger, like a bigger barracks. Because right now, like, everyone just scraps their tier 2 units as soon as they get tier 3. But maybe they figured, I don't know, if we give some gear buffs for tier 2 units, then they can still use them. And I don't know, it's the only kind of piece of logic I'm trying to hold on to make that one work, but I don't think it's the case. I just think it sucks. It's green all over the place. Never seen Rohan have that much in both my servers. Yeah, Careless, I've never seen Rohan be this successful either, even through all of my beta play. That's why we all decided to go Rohan this time, was because we had never seen Rohan be successful, and so we decided it was time for Rohan to have its due. And oh boy, has it. I think we've definitely showcased the power of the marshals for everybody. I don't think it's gonna be long, you know. I don't... If the people on this server see marshals again, it'll be too soon, basically. I wouldn't be surprised if they all go Rohan next, just so that they're not getting hit by them anymore. Oh, Arwen took a draw. Oh, and that was only against the first dude, too. Wow. Yeah, she's definitely going to take that, though. Pretty handily. Ah! That's funny. I think my Gandalf's better than yours, buddy. Wow. 306 focus, though. He's done a good job on that one. Oh, no, I'm up to 324. Never mind. Okay. Level 48 Gandalf. Oh, yeah, I've got the higher respect level, though. That's what's doing it for me there. Because I've been able to go into Wizard, and he has not. So he's not getting the extra stun or defense reduction. But for the Gandalf he's got available to him, that's actually a really good looking Gandalf. 306 focus. The weapon is a questionable choice in my opinion. There's not a lot of focus based weapons He could probably find a better purple to slot in there, though, as opposed to the gold. Like, that's a good choice. Especially considering he can use March Wardens, so that's going to just help them out. Yeah, the Swan Helm, a great focus boost. It could use a better ability, but that's, you know, not really anything you can control. It's a good helm for him. And then, yeah, the worn out smoking pipe is just a perfect choice. So yeah, that's a really good looking, though maybe not using the Guardians. He would probably be better off using Dunedains here. Because he's giving extra defense to his men units, so the only ones getting any advantage from that right now are his guards. And if he were to run Dunedains, you know, against a comp like mine, then he would have ended up killing the Bow Knights for sure. Another option, though, would just be something like Cavaliers. Because he doesn't really need 2 frontline soakers. He's soaking a ton of damage with them, but... yeah. Ouch. Yeah, that was a painful one. All melee. Nice. So the Dunedains got messed up. Hard. Oh, yeah, that's a really good looking Aragorn. I like it. Holy, 328 might, 246 speed. I love seeing this tree. Now, the counterattack... oh, I mean, I can't argue with it, actually. He kicked the shit out of me with it. So... because I still wasn't sure how I felt on his counterattack skill there. But, man, yeah, I don't know, it was still, yeah, it still had a decent amount of troops on Gandalf here, so... it's not like it was a walk in the park for him, but he just messed me up. Good on him. So run away, Gandalf. You've had your fun. We did what we wanted with you. Thank you very much, Rainbow Pit, for resending that screenshot. For commanders like Lurtz, they say something like their damage is modified by their speed stat. Do you know how this compares to straight strength? Example, 2 points of speed equals 1 point of strength. I don't. I haven't sat down to do the hard calculations needed to figure out how the modifications work. There are ways you could figure it out, but yeah, it would require gathering a decent amount of data and crunching some numbers. But I haven't seen anyone that's done it. I haven't talked to anyone that's done it. As far as I know, nobody... I don't know. It's not out there as to how those modifications, like what percentage it is or what the numbers translate into. Yeah, she's going to take it. All right. And he is going to take out this Dwaylen the Rock Johnson. How that? I have a heal? Oh. Yes, I do have a heal. Okay. Cool. I have a heal on Aragorn. Was just wondering if I should use a weapon with only strength or one with strength/speed on alerts. Well, the other benefit to having alerts with an increased speed is just guaranteeing that he attacks before the enemy, and that on its own has a benefit. You know, it affects fights all on its own. So I still gotta wait 7 minutes for Mr. Theo to be ready to do anything. Yeah, he's loading up down here. Oh wait, I've got a tile right here. There's 1, 2, 3. Oh. Well, that's handy. I think I'll just do that. Mark all as red. So if there's anyone else that has questions about Season 2, the changes that are coming, any of the confusion that was going on at the beginning of the week, feel free to pop them into the chat. We do have clarification on certain things. You know, the top 20, the first 20 servers, so servers 1 to 20 are going to get merged. Or are going to transition into Season 2, sorry. And regardless of whether you choose to play on a roleplay or a normal server, everybody is going to be able to choose to be good or evil again. You're going to be able to choose your faction again. So people will be able to play with friends regardless of choosing roleplay. Or no, not regardless of choosing roleplay or mixed. As long as you and your friend both choose roleplay or both choose mixed, then you will be able to team up together on the same faction. Hey AJ, just got my Gimli to R5. Any tips for his skill tree? I'm gonna be honest, I don't really have a ton of advice for Gimli because I don't use him a lot. I do love his Lockbreaker tree. I find the synergy he can have with elves is extremely beneficial. Lord of the Glittering Caves is a really good tree because it provides access to open wounds, so you get that 2-round heal block. Doesn't come into play as much against your evil commanders, like evil side, as it does the good side, but it can really help out against commanders like Arwens, Galadriels, Gandalfs, you know, any of those big healers. Break defenses can end up adding up to a lot of extra damage. Lord of Glittering Caves also, you know, increases the damage. And then if you add this with let's think, do you want to add this with Durin's Blood? Because really, you can't afford to take the Lockbearer tree and max out his damage. If you want to max out his damage, then you want to take something like the Experienced Warrior, Durin's Blood, Glittering Caves. You know, just to boost all of that. But if you do go with the Elf and Dwarf synergy, and that's really handy, especially if you're playing as an Elf or a Dwarf. Because if you have access to either March Wardens or Iron Warriors, then you can really make full use out of this tree. Rohan and Gondor don't make as much use out of it because you don't get those really powerful units. And so at that point, you'd be better going into these trees to just try and max out damage for them. And I do think Open Wound is a good ability to at least get a single point into, just to make sure you get that 2-round heal block. Oh, wow. Yeah. You would shred people's defense if you used this and the Ram Riders. And then if you had Iron Warriors pounding through the front line. And then, yeah, that I would agree with it for sure. He's worth doing some testing on, I would say that, like some experimenting. Try a few different things, see what you like. That's the one thing I really appreciate, that they only made the reskilling of commanders 20 gems. And there's no time limit on, or it's not time gated, or there's no cooldown afterward. I find it really handy to be able to just try experimenting with different things. I lost at the... Oh, yeah, this Aragorn kicked crap out of my Aragorn. That's cool. We got Arwen over here. She's still looking pretty healthy, so... But not healthy enough. Just going to make sure she gets topped up before we come over and mess this guy up. Go home, Gandalf. And actually, you know what? We're going to cancel that reinforcement and just YOLO it. Because we don't want them taking all our tiles before we get a chance to do this. Oh no. Oh, come on. Tell me she can make it. Tell me she can make it. I don't think she can, though. It's going to be close. She's going pretty slow. I know he can't get up there in time. That's all right. Oh no, he's doing it the right way, because I won't be able to one-shot his fort from 24%, and he knows that. At least not with a single commander, probably. I'd need a whole lot more siege damage than I've got. So I should have taken this tile here to give myself more time. That would have been the smarter play. Because now... Oh, no, he's moving that way, so I might have time. Oh, if not, I can just take this one, because now I own this tile. I can make my way there. What am I worried about? Jeez. Worrying about nothing. God, you're so slow, Arwen. Cool. Go ahead and guard. If that's your Aragorn. Yep. And we can beat that Aragorn pretty easy with this R1, so. I don't think he's close enough to his base that he's going to get a reinforcement before we can hit him. And he is really protecting that fort, so. We're going to hit it. All right, what do we need? We still need more guards. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Whoop. Smashy, smashy with a brick. Cool. Ah, man, I missed Crown. He's a good guy. Ah, funny. Funny, funny, funny. I don't care how much he gets. I just need something. Oh, wait, I guess I could just reinforce this guy with, like, anything so that he could take, you know, a tile. Even that'll do. Why would I use the slowest troop, though? The absolute... Yeah, no. That's just dumb. Let's use something like some marshals that, you know, are going to actually show up a little bit faster. 5 minutes. God damn, that's still going to take forever. Well, that's the fastest unit I got other than Eagles. Oh, Crown's going to try and one-shot this. That'll be interesting to see. Like you said, he's going to have to get lucky with defenders. Oh, okay. If you're watching the stream, Crown, then yeah, I can just like talk about it. I generally run at least 2 melee units. Like I said, generally 1 to specifically soak damage. Oh wow, I was talking about him. I was talking about this as maybe it was mine I was looking at. Yeah, I think I did that because I didn't have many like other troops at the time to reinforce them with. So maybe that was my own Aragorn. I was saying I didn't like the double melee here. And this is because they're both damage soaking units. The better example would have been this one. So here I've got 2 melee units, but this is my frontline soaking unit because they're just going to take, you know, the brunt of the damage. These are my specialist unit. They're going after the ranged. If I wasn't going after any ranged and I was only going at mounted units, this would probably be cavaliers, or some kind of DPS focused melee unit. So again, like, yeah, probably cavaliers would be the choice. Guardians maybe, Iron Warriors if I was dwarves. And then my ranged unit, I always try, I generally always, I guess I won't say always, but 9 times out of 10, I would say, I run ranged units, at least 1, just because if you have an effective front line soaking damage the way they should, then your back line gets to do their job, and range generally has more damage than melee does. So I do like to try and maximize my damage by including some ranged units. But in order to get that job done effectively, you've got to make sure you've got a front line to soak damage. And then, like I said, I try and include a specialist unit to counter whatever it is that I'm going up against. So if you're watching the stream, Crown, let me know in the PM here so that I know I addressed the thing. If not, then I'll start chatting with you in the actual PM again. But what was your response here? I mean, in total. Oh, in total, how many troops for fighting between all comms do you build? Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. So my main units right now, the ones that I always conscript, are marshals. So that's 1. Dunedains, that's 2. Cavaliers, there's 3. Bow Knights, that's 4. And yeah, it looks like Guards of the Tower right now are the 5th unit that I'm pretty well conscripting all the time. So it looks like 5 for me right now. And yeah, I'm probably around that 5 or 6 mark. Because to be honest, I would kind of like to be recruiting at least 1 type of non-mounted ranged unit. Just because I don't like having to throw my Bow Knights on everybody that I want ranged units for. You know, because it's so hard to maintain an army of Bow Knights for multiple commanders. So I'd probably be at that 6 as well, Crown. Like I said, because I'd probably have at least one of these 3 ranged units. I had recruited a bunch of master throwers because I was trying to test them out. I haven't been able to get the testing done that I wanted to with them, so... but there's discussion again as to whether or not master throwers or bow knights are better for general purpose ranged units. I still think bow knights are better, but I do agree that master throwers are better against trolls specifically. But again, I don't generally recruit these guys. If I'm going to take a ranged unit that aren't bow knights, it's either going to be sentinels or sharpshooters, and the sentinels seem to have taken the top spot for non-mounted ranged units. It seems like they're out DPSing the sharpshooters now. So I would likely be going with the sentinels. That's their names. Oh. Oh. That's... Ouch. That wasn't a full Theo, though, was it? Okay, no, this was his first fight. Okay, no, that's actually pretty decent then. You didn't one-shot it, but... Yeah, Mr. Dirty Cakes has blown through all the troops he brought with him. Bad Dirty Cakes. Yeah, those Rams are putting in work. There we go. All right. All is good up here now. Well, I noticed that we are getting close to that time, so I'm going to start the wrap-up phase nice and early. This was a bit of it was a more casual, laid-back stream tonight, more chill. Must be a busy Friday for people. Didn't have the same kind of crowd. Not crown. We have crown. Didn't have the same kind of crowd we've been having join us lately, but that's all right. Not every night's gonna be hopping and popping like they always do. But it was still a great time with everyone that was here. Great discussion was had. Got some questions answered. Learned some new things all around. And it seems like we did get to clear up some of the season confusion for people. Before we leave, if there's still any confusion, if there's still anything that people are unclear on for Season 2, feel free to pop the questions in. Now, as always, thank you very much to my patrons, my followers, my subscribers, just everybody that's joining and helping make this channel and these channels what they are. It is always amazing to be joined by all you wonderful people. If it's been fun and informative and entertaining, engaging, all that fun stuff, you can hit that like, the subscribe, and the share buttons. There's a follow button on Twitch. I think there's a heart too, isn't there? Or no, that's the follow button. Yeah, there's buttons. There's all the buttons to hit. Well, I mean, we still got like 10 minutes until I actually... But because I know that I can ramble on sometimes, and there have been times where I've caught it at like 1 o'clock, and then it's quarter after before I get all wrapped up, I figured I'd start it early. So anyone that's taken off themselves, we will chat again later. We'll be back on Wednesday for sure. Same bat time, same bat channel. I don't have anyone in range yet, Crown. Okay, not a problem. Yeah, like I said, I was just getting into it early. Just wanted to make sure I got the thank yous in and the acknowledgements and the button stuff mentioned. Ooh, there's a share button. I forget about the share button. But I think the share button's better on videos. It's not really great for streams. But I mean, if you want it, well, it would be at the beginning. Maybe I should talk about the share button at the beginning of streams. That would be a thing. I feel like there's a button I'm forgetting. I can't remember. But if there's a button I'm forgetting, then maybe hit it. Like I said, don't. There's that button. Don't hit that one. That one's not good. We don't like that button. Yeah, we can watch Crown smack around the Sons of Beleriand. I'm sure he'll share some reports, letting us know how it goes. Unless you mean the flag button. You've mentioned all. Okay. I don't think I want I don't think the flag button's good either, though. Let's not hit that one. No. Well, I'm just trying to think, because now I got, like, there's buttons in other places, you know, so I was pretty sure, I think I had got all the YouTube buttons. I can't remember all the buttons on Twitch. I think I've got some buttons that I've added, like there's the Patreon, the patron thing is I think it's a button. The AjMcGamer.live, that's not a button, but that's or is it a button? I don't think it's a button. Yeah, no, I think it's just the patron one that's a button. I mean, speaking of which, I guess that's a good awkward segue into, you know, if you enjoy the content, the streams, and I know there's been a lack of videos lately, but I'm trying to get back to it. I've got footage. I'm getting into some some editing of it, and I'm gonna, because I wanted to do a quick video clearing up the season 2 stuff as well before I put out, because I mean, I got to get that video out before season 2 starts, or else really, what's the point? But I want to try and get that one out quickly. I always say that, and they always take longer than I think. But if you enjoy the channel and the streams and the community and all the fun stuff, you can now support the channel at AjMcGamer.live or Patreon.com/AjMcGamer is the order I usually reverse the order, and become a patron or check out the merch. I think I've got the merch up there. I didn't wear my sweater or my shirt tonight. I don't have my mug tonight either. I mean, I'm not advertising anything. Jeez. Just slacking. Where are you? going down here? I thought you were... Oh, he's got Theo coming down here. No, Theo's here. He's got Arwen coming down here. Who does he have here? Ori. His Pather. Oh, it's empty. Boo. That's never fun. That's anticlimactic. So maybe he's coming over here at Jippersky? Or Gippersky? Jippersky. First Lord Lumiel Sabrina, or Sabrina. I don't think you'd appreciate that. Sarabia. I think that's probably closer to how it's supposed to be pronounced. Zonio or Zonio. Oh man. If he's got friends and that's like a thing, I'm sure Sabrina has now replaced it. Sorry to whoever you are. If that becomes a thing, I apologize. I just looked at it quickly and yeah, I saw Sabrina. Wow, we got oh boy, a 3-hour march. I sent somebody on a 7-hour march the other day. I felt really bad about that one. But I mean, hey, it's if you get sent on a 7-hour march, that's your fault for sending a commander that far from home. Relocation is a thing. It's like, ugh, a 7-hour march back home. That's a whole shift at work before your commander's available again. Like I said, that one I actually had a bit of a tinge of like, oh god, sorry, dude. Anyway. See, now I feel all awkward just being like, okay, see it, because like I always end with the wrap-up stuff, and I've done the wrap-up stuff, so now it's just like, hey. Bye, I guess. You know, like, it's been fun. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, everybody. I am glad we were able to have this discussion. Hopefully we'll keep learning new things. We didn't discuss the commanders. I planned on discussing the commanders and who we thought. See, it just hit me. That's why you're supposed to do notes. Because I literally just remembered I was going to talk about people's thoughts on who we thought the commanders were going to be. Didn't do that. So Wednesday, maybe we'll even have some more information about them. But Wednesday, we can talk about who we think the commanders are that are going to be added for Season 2. Indeed, Jason Fennell. Until next time, good luck on whatever battlefield you find yourself on. Final transition of the evening. Peace out.